And so it is with an immense amount of pride and hope that I introduce to you all tonight, Sebastian. Sebastian, let's do the thing.
Hello, everyone. Hello. So, a few years ago, I started my career as a teacher, and I was pretty shocked at the amount of first grade students that really didn't like school. I realized for the majority of them, their disinterest stemmed from low self-esteem in reading. So, I try to read with them in creative ways, but still they would look at me like, I know what you're trying to do, Mr. V. You're trying to trick me to read. Kids are smart, they're self-aware. Different ways to make them read in school isn't enough. It's about instilling the ability and the confidence to make reading fun, but for themselves. And now, as a software engineer, I want to do the same, but through technology. I want to create new learning opportunities that promote self-discovery in interactive and innovative ways. My application, Rad Rocket, brings children into a colorful and exciting world that encourages self-discovery early in their reading journey. So ultimately, I'm looking to bridge my expertise in software development and education to help your company form a human-centered approach. Come meet me at my table to learn more. Thank you.
As a former TSA agent, detail is something I can never overlook. Just one look away, and you can cause a breach of security and endanger many lives. TSA highlighted my ability to adhere to following the rules and procedures, always be a people person, yet thorough, and follow my instincts. All important to displaying my integrity as not just an agent, but an engineer. A website is critical to today's company's survival. My success as an engineer depends on the appeal of your company's website, and you can depend on me to do just that. As a former member of Team TSA, we used our keen observation to enhance our nation's security. Now, I use that same keen observation to parse through code and debug websites. I would like to team up with you. Let's work together and make your company website the best it can be. Thank you.
I am a designer, a craftsman, and I come from a family of makers. Growing up, I have always had an interest in creating my own clothing. I then later created an online clothing brand as my personal passion project. In starting a small business, I was introduced to the world of coding. By editing the template on my website to make it more marketable and stand out, I began to develop a love for software engineering. To return back to my first passion, I created an app for creatives as my demo day project to help the users put together outfits using color theory. This application will take the user's clothing and make suggestions based on style, trends, and color choices. Being a great software engineer is my craft, and I will give to it all of the passion and hard work that I've brought to all of my previous experiences. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ken Cruz and I'm a software engineer. Growing up in Dorchester in an immigrant family, I've always had a love for geography and other cultures, but also working in my community. Since I was young, I was taught self-discipline, to be confident, and to show spirit to back up my decisions. As a software engineer, I'm resourceful and show a cooperative mindset through my previous experience as a transfer specialist at the Fed and a community organizer in Providence. Through the years, I've been fortunate to earn scholarships to live and study abroad. But after coming back home to Boston, I wanted to share that experience, but realized that many folks in my neighborhood don't have the means to do the same. Instead of telling them about the adventure, I built them that opportunity through Intel Matcher, my demo day project. The project lets users search topics or countries of interest, create dialogue with the people they match with, and imagine the experience they would have. So come on over to table number Ken to check out my project and let's talk.
In part from my grandmother's faith in Joyce. As an immigrant from Trinidad, my grandmother Joyce taught me that I can be just as great as my peers with hard work and creativity. I did this by developing a keen eye for detail and interpersonal skills as a photographer and graphic designer of many years. As the first female and Black assessor in the United States, my grandmother Faith taught me that I can reach for anything, despite perceptions that women can't be as great in math and science. Yet here I am, successfully conceptualizing and launching full stack applications, including my own app, Book It. I am the product of their wildest dreams. In my various roles, from photographer to recruiter, my willingness to challenge the status quo and take on challenging products speaks to my curiosity, gumption, and passion. If you'd like to learn more about who I am and my skills, and also get your next book recommendation, meet me at my table to learn more about Book It. Happy to chat and learn more about the opportunities at your company.
Hi guys, my name is APD. I'm from Kyrgyzstan, where women's rights and opinion don't mean anything. Since I was a kid, I studied and worked hard to make my parents proud of me, but my good marks were never enough for them. It was because they saw me as a future wife, mother, and caregiver. But I always believed that I can do and be more than that. After high school, I got accepted to university in Turkey. I collected and hid my birthing money and leave my country. My parents were against it, and though it was hard, I knew I needed to keep moving forward. But I didn't give up. I was 16 years old in a different country, learning a new language, and had a couple dollars in my pocket. But I didn't give up. Then Turkey became unstable, so I challenged myself to pursue my education elsewhere. I didn't give up. Once in the US, I continued my studies, and my journey brought me to Resilient Coders, a place where I am empowered regardless of my gender. I work diligently to be the best software engineer I can be and to show my sisters that they can too, follow their dreams no matter what. My name is APD and I don't ever give up. Meet me at my table to learn more about who I am and about my educational platform. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Eric, a software engineer. I am different, and I've spent my whole life mastering this. The result is that I always think outside of the box. For me, fitting in required a different approach of understanding others first in order to understand myself. Perceiving the world in this way led to the growth of a deep empathy. This skill made me highly capable of cooperating with very different types of individuals on any team to great effect. From working with professional athletes to researching the best materials to mitigate water pollution with civil engineers, and more recently, spending long nights pushing code with the RC community. My unique approach to problem solving and cooperation invigorates and enlivens my surroundings. My name is Eric Enrique Espinoza, your next software engineer. My project, Boston Parks and Recreation, encourages us to go back into the community and into the sun, which we all desperately need after this period of isolation. Thank you.
Okay, so imagine this. There's a third grader and she's trying to learn division. We all know division, we work in tech. So this third grader comes home with her division homework and she asks her Nigerian father to help her with her homework. And quickly this girl realizes that they are not talking about the same division. She's talking about Boston Public Schools, Miss Good, please keep me on green division. And he's talking about Nigerian schoolhouse ruler beating division. So now with this undone homework and a furious father, this girl takes her backpack, her coat, and heads to her library. Now, with a little bit of Googling and some hours later, she returns home that evening with completed homework. Now, that resourceful, resilient, efficient girl is indeed myself, even look the same. And instead of using those skills to actually use those skills to attain a degree in mechanical engineering, along with just switching my whole career path into software engineering and just progressing myself along with that journey and potentially at your company. So definitely stop by Table with Abby to discuss more. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. My name is Zikra Haimanot. Growing up, I struggled to write effectively. I buckled down and worked with my sister to develop my skills and hone in on the craft. That resilience and determination to improve put me on the path to becoming a hireable professional, recruited to write for multiple outlets. Now, years later, I write lines of code for a living, and I'm exploring a trade that pushes my limits. No matter how challenging programming gets, I remind myself of how I grew as a writer and that I can learn to do anything. With that lesson in resilience in mind, I ask myself, how can I use my skills as a programmer to better society? I chose to start with the gig economy, an industry that left a sour taste in my mouth. My experiences as a rideshare driver were troubling, and so I created Woo Livery. Woo Livery aims to provide a responsible medium for entrepreneurs and consumers to interact. Meet me at my table so I can show you what conscious coding can do for our society. Thank you.
Before I became the artist, designer, and product-focused developer that I am today, I was just a little girl with an inner knowing that I was an innovator and that I could create a world of my own. So at age 17, I moved to the Big Apple to pursue an education in STEM and a career in musical arts. While there, I started a company just as a way to make extra money, but soon I realized the value of my skills, and they were far more than I ever intended. I was able to advance my own brand while also gaining contracts from institutions like Columbia University, the MoMA, Afropunk, St. John's University, and more. But still, with all the success, so much was missing. I needed to grow my business, and I felt limited for growing in my terms of innovation. Photoshop, Illustrator, and marketing were great tools to have in my back pocket, but were limiting me from growing as that creator. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript, things that always seemed so foreign to me and like surgery, I set out to learn them, and now I'm a software engineer. And I'm equipped with an arsenal of creative and professional tools to create those new worlds that I always envisioned as a child through development and design. And if you come to my table, I can show you the app that I made in which I truly created a world of my own. Thank you for coming.
Hello, my name is Samir, and I'm lazy. But that's why I make solutions to make my life easier. You see, when I was little, my mom plopped down a bag of marbles in front of me and told me to sort them out by size. Of course, she expected me to count them one by one, but I had different plans. Instead, I created a big mess in my room, creating a marble run using that useless wide rule paper, toilet paper rolls, not so sticky masking tape, and my wild imagination. For hours, I attempted to get the design and angles right. And after intense troubleshooting, I finally succeeded. A task that could have took 15 minutes turned into hours. But now I could potentially take on thousands of marbles and sort them out under a minute. But I can't guarantee the durability of duct tape and flimsy paper. From that experience, though, I learned that creative problem solving and hard work can save you a lot of time, but can also be fun. And for that, my project I'll be showing is a greenhouse monitoring system using the Raspberry Pi. And with that, you will be able to water your plants and without ever have to water them again. Thank you.
When I was a little girl with afro puffs and a chipped front tooth, I dream about the hidden figures in STEM. Katherine Johnson, Gladys West, and Leah Bird, the Black software engineers who wrote the code to get the first man to the moon. But what tech dreams could there be for a child whose neighborhood was a food desert and whose mom fed her 4 children on only $20,000 a year in salary? Now, these experiences gave me the unparalleled fight to push through any technical failure, the humble confidence of a chief executive, and the grounding to always lift up fellow engineers as I climb. I am the first member of my family to get a college degree. I was the first Black woman in university history to be elected president of our student government. And I became a chief of staff for a member of the Massachusetts House of Representatives after I graduated. Now, don't you want the next hidden figure on your software engineering team? My name is Naya Kamari Macklin. Say it with me. Naya Kamari Macklin, hidden figure, and your next software engineer. Meet me on the second floor to chat.
When I first started programming, I clearly remember watching Elsa spin around in a circle and saying, yes, I did it. I'm going to be a programmer. I signed up for every free class, studied online, giving up my summers with friends for summer days coding. At a certain point, I hit a wall. There was no platform built for me to help transition my foundation of knowledge to a career. At that point, I created my own space to learn by building a study plan and gathering the resources that were available to me. Now, I was in a unique circumstance to be able to do that, but I don't think it should ever be that hard to learn something so valuable. That's why I created my demo day project, Flow, to help those who are interested in technology expand their knowledge and reach their goals. My name is Amanda, and I'm a resilient problem solver. Meet me on the second floor to learn more. Thank you.
Humans don't rise to the occasion. They fall to their level of preparation. My name is Divya, and I am relentless. I set my mind to something, and I achieve it. I picked up piano when I was 4 years old. I could read the treble and the bass clef before I could read English. And man, the sweet sounds of music made me feel so alive. I trained for my first competition at 6 years old. I won. Year after year, I would memorize 50 pages of music perfectly, listening to students much older than me play tough pieces, and not only aspire to play those compositions, but play them better. And finally, at age 15, I became a nationally ranked pianist. Later in life, I scored an internship with a world-renowned physicist who challenged me to write the theory of the probability of 2 stars colliding in a galaxy. I tried, I failed. I kept trying. And finally, 3 months after my internship ended, I solved the problem. My consistency, passion, and relentless character has chiseled me into a creative worker who is always hungry for a challenge and constantly executes. Thank you.
In 1994, a software engineer was born. In the capital city of Haiti, Port-au-Prince, is where you would find my mother, sister, and I sleeping on cinder blocks behind a broken-down church. Her strong will to get us aboard the motherboard of opportunity that we call the United States has allowed me to truly tap into my potentials. Now, growing up in America, I was introduced to the piano sometime during my early teenage years, and that was the beginning of my creative journey. After immersing into piano lessons for years, and prior to that learning the English language, that has made me realize that maybe I've been grooming a foundation for software engineering. And maybe, just maybe, I was born to learn. So in today's world, I plan on using the skills that I've harnessed from a zillion coders, along with my own sense of creativity in learning languages and frameworks in timely fashion, and in conjunction to what I've learned, strong will, to become the best software engineer that I can be. My name is Orson St. Fleur. Please come check out my demo day project on the second floor.
Hello, everyone. My name is Victor Tran. Being the eldest from an immigrant family meant that I had to grow up fast, either taking my younger brother to school or getting a job to help pay for bills. I learned to become independent, flexible, resourceful, and learned that there's no such thing as failure, just learning opportunity. Not having access to a car meant that I heavily relied on public transit. And to be honest, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the Red Line. Since we live in a large commuter city, the city of Boston has more cars on the road than ever before. And I don't know about you, but I hate traffic, especially getting onto the 93. The MBTA is one of the busiest public transit systems in the country, with over 1 million daily riders. My project is focused on providing users live updates and alerts so they can plan their commute and do more of what they love. If you'd like to find out more, please meet me at Table Victor. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Asia Bennett. Growing up in a military family meant I had to adapt to constantly changing environments. I learned that no matter where you are in the world, you gain knowledge from immersion. In Missouri, I picked up how to plan ahead from the locals. Everything was far apart, so I had to be intentional about the goals I set out for the day. You can always catch me making a to-do list, except now I can build an app for that. New Jersey, on the other hand, taught me productivity. There, I started an after-school theater club and learned the importance of collaboration and putting diverse minds together in order to come up with a creative approach to meet deadlines. But here in Boston, I learned the power of a strong network. Through the coding community, I've had the opportunity to build websites for local businesses, turn ideas into tangible products, create highly scalable platforms for multiple users, and work with some of the most resilient thinkers to challenge traditional ways of problem solving. Here in Boston, I became a doer. So come join me, Asia Bennett, on the second floor to hear more about what I'm doing to stay kinetic in the herbal food industry.
Life, murder, poverty, depression, feeling like you would never escape your circumstances. The creative arts was my escape. Competing in poetry events known nationwide allowed me and my peers to transcend our situations, even for a moment. But that wasn't enough for me. I beat the odds and became the first person in my family to attend university. Business became my passion. I wanted to become proficient in money language to help others like myself become financially fluent, but I still wasn't satisfied. I thought, what's the greatest tool in mankind's back pocket? Then it hit me. I flashed back to being 10 years old playing Club Penguin with my older cousin. Hey, yo, open that folder I sent you, he said. Me not knowing that there was an infinite loop in there, much less what an infinite loop was, watched my computer crash. I began foaming at the mouth thinking, if one folder could cause that much damage, imagine full applications with an actual purpose. My cousin wasn't able to continue his education in tech, but I can. My name is Elmer Fernando Osorio Jr., and I carry my passion of helping others in difficult situations with my cousin's passion of tormenting me with programming. Thank you.